We're live. Hi, live. Hi, besties. So, if you read the title, I am going to be talking about 7 ways to budget while working a 9 to 5 and running a small business or business. And I'm going to be talking about that while I make candles. So, I got my gloves, got my apron on. So first things first, let me introduce myself. My name is Brittany Kiera. That is my first name and my last name. That is my real government name. I decided to start a YouTube channel 2 years ago. Just orbiting around like my lifestyle, talking about my candle business and showing you guys like how to make candles. So, yeah, I just wanted to expand that side of me, get so you guys could get to know me, so you guys could watch me make candles, share moments of my life with my family, with my sons. I am a boy mom. I have 2 boys. They're 17. One is 17 and the other is 12. One well, the 12-year-old, his birthday is on the 21st. So shout outs to him. He is going to be 12. So he's 11 and a half right now. So yes, so I have 2 boys. I'm a mom. I have a candle business that is called Brit's Decorative Candles, excuse me. And I recently just opened up an LLC for Brit's Body and Room Sprays that I'm working on and will be selling real soon. And I'll be adding that to my website. Trying to see how I can pin. I don't know, but I'll have that in my description after this live. So yes, I'm going to be making candles while I talk about 7 ways of budgeting your money. Hello, and welcome. If you're just joining, I gave a little description about myself. Again, my name is Britt. My YouTube name is Brittany Kiera. I started this YouTube channel 2 years ago. Hello, how are you? So let's just get started with making the candles because I don't want my wax sitting for too long. Because if I have my wax sitting for too long, it starts to thicken up, it starts to harden and solidify. So I have my wax here. I'm going to be talking about 7 ways to budget while working a 9 to 5 and running a business. So we're in my candle business. We're in my candle studio right now. And so yes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for building this channel with me and staying with me on my journey. So today, I'm going to be restocking my candles. So I'm low on my cucumber and watermelon. So that's what I have here. And then I'm gonna be doing some gentleman fragrances. So I'm so excited for that. So number one of budgeting, I have my notes here. If you see me looking away, I have my notes. So let's just jump right into the 7 ways of budgeting. Okay, so number one, how I budget to run a business is by picking up overtime on my at my job. So picking up overtime is a good way to help you scale up your business, run your business. And also, I picked up a secondary job for door dashing. So that helped with the gas, that helped with food, um, and supplies for my candles. So number two is cutting back on shopping. So like clothes and shoes and jewelry. If I'm like going out to hang out with my friends or my family, I'll just probably get something that's inexpensive or probably wear an outfit that I have already. But 9 times out of 10, I wore it and I'll try to like pair it up with like different pair of jeans or different pair of pants, something, kind of spice up the wardrobe a little bit. But I just like shop on like Sheins or something like that that's inaffordable. So so yeah, I um get all of my clothes off of like Sheins and stuff because it's very inexpensive. And I don't do like any emotional spending. So like when I say emotional spending, I mean like retail therapy, like shopping, like um buying sweets and junk food and stuff like that. I cut that back way back. Um and so number 3 is what I do to cut back it's a budget is to take a lunch to work. So I do cook. I do make like a big pot of like chili or spaghetti or tacos or something like that. And it'll last me for like a couple of days. And I'll just take the leftovers to work. That way it can cut down on me spending weekly. So that's what I do there. But I still buy like, um lunch every now and then again when I feel like, I'm doing good for the week. So that's what I do, is bring my lunch to work. And number 4 is I consolidate my bills. So like I do not spend money on unnecessary bills. So what I mean by that is, like Spotify. I don't pay for Spotify. I do not spend money on YouTube premiums. Disney, HBO, Zeus, all of them monthly platforms of like streaming services. I don't spend my money. So of that's how I cut that out. That's just unnecessary. However, I do pay for Amazon Prime because when I need my candle supplies, I need it like next day or I need it like right away, I do pay, the extra 14.99 to but it's free shipping. It's free shipping for Amazon Prime and then you get it within a matter of like 3 days. Um so yeah, so I mentioned number 5, I cook my meals. So again, meal prepping and also going to like Costco's or Sam's Club, to buy like really big bulks. Um and running just, and it saves time, running back and forth to the grocery store. Like when I go to Sam's Club, I'm gonna give you an example. When I go to Sam's Club, I buy like paper towel because I use a lot of paper towel, to clean my supplies out. I use this alcohol, to sterilize everything. And so instead of me going to the dollar store to purchase like a pack of 6 or a pack of 8, I go to Sam's Club to get like the big bulk of paper towel. And I believe it's like 24 that come in there, or maybe more. It's like either 24 or 36 rolls that come in the pack. And it saves me so much time, so much gas. Like it's a good cutback. That's a good investment. Um and I want you guys to stick around for the final tip because the final tip is gonna blow your mind. It's really gonna blow your mind. It's a great tip about replenishing all the money that you have spent for your business and for your household. So, in sidebar, I do want to say this: like nobody talks about um how much it takes to run a business. Everybody is kind of like, oh, you have to, what I'm saying? They always want to talk about their wins, but they never want to talk about how business owners are like living from check to check. You know, your first 5, well, I'm gonna say 2 to 3 years. Your first 2 to 3 years, you're not gonna see any money that you have invested into your business. Like, even when you are um applying for grants, even when you are applying for grants, like, they will not, your first year, your first 2 years, they will not give you any loans, because they want to see that you have invest large amounts into your business. They want to know that you really believe in your business, you know. So yeah, you guys, like, no one talks about all the time, all the money that you spend the first, because this has been what, year 3 for me. I started my candle business in 2023. No one told me that your first 5 years, like, you're not going to see any investments. Now, even though I've been in business for 3 years, I still have to, you know, still got a vendor. I still have to market. I still have to, find people to collab with, to, do like wholesale sales and different things like that. Um Now, what I have been doing, and this is going to number 6, I've been doing a lot of vendors. Yeah, I've been doing vendors for about a year. So vendors is like pop-up shops, and um like, they call them markets or marquees or anything like that. So I do those like in the springtime, in the summertime, in the fall, and during the holidays. Um so I do vendors, and the vendors that I do, they have like vendor fees. So their vendor fees is like 40 to like $50. But I'm selling my candles, so even though I paid the fee, I still, see a profit with my candles, because I'm selling. Like, one year I sold, um like, my first vendor, it was one lady that spent $100. So she bought like 10 candles from me. Like, it was really, like, I really cleaned up just off one person. And then my mom, I go with her, and she sells her t-shirts, and she um she helps me a lot. Like, she's very supportive. Like, my mom has been supporting me on my business venture. So I really, really love that about my mom. Because she sometimes, or all the time, pick up the tab, for I don't know if those are clean or not. But she pays for the vendor fees because she comes as well. And I'm with her. I'm sharing like the table. Like, with the vendors, you have to bring, like, well, some vendors, not all, but some vendors you have to bring like your table and your chairs, and some vendors you don't. Some vendors, they provide that for you. So I do have a vendor coming up May 23rd. So I will be at that one. So as you can see, I'm getting ready for that. I'm gearing up for that. But if I don't have any money to like do vendors, or if I don't have any candles ready, and I'm, waiting for my supplies to come in, I I recently, what I've been doing is contacting like hair salons and stuff like that. I've been calling up the owners, talking to them, like, letting them know, like, hey, I sell candles. My name is Brittany Jared. I want to collab with you as far as like my candles. I make candles, and I want to show, my I want to show and collab my with my candles. So let me say that more professionally. So what I do, I call up the owners to the hair salon. Like, this one hair salon owner, she did my braids, and I called her just to see if she was gonna say yes or no, and she said yes. And I immediately just started like doing my candles, making sure I have enough enough candles in stock to sell. So I want to have like at least like four. It's like I'm doing like small batches right now. So I want to have four or more candles for each scent. So yeah, that's what I want to do. So yeah, you guys, let me hurry up and pour this wax. And I'm gonna measure out. So I'm gonna do some rainwater because I at least have two cucumbers. So let me do some more rainwaters. I use like 1%. There we go. I use like 1% of the fragrance load for my candles, just so it could be like that strong scent. That strong scent. So let me go ahead and stir this for 2 minutes. It is 4:44, so let me wait until it's 4:45 to say start the clock. But like I was saying, so I've just been vendoring and I've been getting like my profit back from spending money on the supplies and actually making the candle. Um, Also, if I don't have the vendor money, then I will go to like the hair salons. I will go to the coffee shops and the bookstores and the massage places to shop or to sell my candles. So yeah, and just turn those people into customers. So that's what I do, what I've recently started doing for my candle business. And number 7, this is the bonus tip, you guys. So what I have done to get all of my money back, all the money that I've spent out all year round and for my household, I have um I have uh-oh. So this is the last tip. So what I've done was I did a write-off for my taxes. That is the bonus tip. Like I've done write-offs for my business. So everything that I spent for my business when it come down, even with door dashing, did a write off on door dashing, for like gas, the mileage, the supplies that I had bought for the deliveries, like flashlight and comfy shoes, raincoat, umbrella, etc. If I'm looking down, I have notes here to let you guys know the 7 ways of budgeting while you have a 9 to 5 and while I have a small business. And of course, my small business is making candles. If you are just now joining in and you don't know already. And if you don't know already, my name is Brittany Kiera. That is my YouTube channel. That is my name. My real name. Um and yeah, so that's what I do, you guys. I do like write-offs for the whole year. Um and all the purchases that I've done for my candles, I just write them off at the beginning of the year. I file with TurboTax. And I just do like write offs. I do like my write offs with everything I purchased, even with door dashing. So when I do write offs, it's like candle supplies, like the wax, the wicks, um, the space that I use, the electricity that I use. Yeah, like the paper towel, the alcohol, everything, the jars, the fragrance oil, and I have to start getting into the habit of keeping my personal expenses separate from my business expenses. So that is something that I'm working on so that I can provide more receipts for my personal and my candle. I want to keep those separated. Oh my goodness, I was supposed to mix. Okay, so let me go ahead and stir this. Okay, so it is 4:48. Sorry, guys, this is so loud. It's my least favorite part about making candles. What? Okay, no. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so I have to stir for 2 minutes. It is 4:48. I'm gonna stop at 4:50. So yes, you guys, those are my 7 ways. Hold on, I'm not gonna talk while I'm stirring. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay. So it is 4:50. It's been 2 whole minutes. Okay. So I gotta hurry up. It's starting to cool down. Okay. Now it's been 2 whole minutes for real. Okay. So let me go ahead and lit these candles. Okay. Forgot my wick tabs. Yes, you guys, like if you want more tips, I want to do like I want to start a series on like financial and time management, money management when you're running a business. And while I'm still figuring it out, sorry, that's my neighbors. Um I'm still figuring it out each year, but this year I'm always like, gotta market. I have to advertise. I have to get my name out there when it comes to my business. And that's gonna be a forever thing when you have a business. You don't have to necessarily like pay for marketing just by you posting on your social media page. That's good enough. Um and also, business cards. You do have to invest money into business cards. But yeah, other than that, like running a business and budget, like you're just not gonna see your profit. You're not gonna profit from your business the first 3 years. And I just wish someone would have told me that, because then I wouldn't be. I mean, I would still do it. I would still have um I would still be making candles. I would still sell candles and different things like that. but I just will not be looking forward to it so much. I wouldn't have like the expectation of, you know, getting rich while selling my candles. But I love what I do. I love making candles, and I'm probably gonna be making candles until I'm like 101, till I'm like an old lady, because this is it's so peaceful. It's it's everything. It's everything. Let's see, vintage blue. Vintage blue. Okay, so I'm doing rainwater. Okay, let me hurry up because that is starting to. Oh my goodness, it's starting to. Hold on. It's just solidify. I just warm up my wax. Okay. Okay. I do want to say this to you guys. Like, I started like making candles out of my kitchen, and it's just been going good so far. Now I've moved. Um, like I use my whole house really to make candles, because I have my printer upstairs, and then down here is my candle studio. So it's just it's a lot. Like going up and down the stairs, it's a lot, but it's so worth it. It is so worth it. Like I even have my boys. Well, I'm gonna say the oldest one. I even have my oldest son burning candles, and paying for candles and all the things. But yeah, this is a lucrative business. I encourage everybody to, do what they love to do, find a skill, find a hobby and turn that into, you know, a business. Because that's really what I did, you guys. Like, I literally turned my hobby of like making candles into a business. Like, before I had a wax melter, I was using my stove. I was using like the double boiling method. Using my pots and pans, I would have to have like a separate pot for, to melt my waxes. But for the most part, I for the most part, I just use um my my stove in my kitchen until I was able to, save enough money to get a wax melter. And then after I got a wax melter, I got a bigger pitcher so that I can make, four candles instead of one at a time. It's just different things like that, like saving and budgeting. It's just basically leveling up your business, and um, getting more supplies, or, let me put a little bit more wax in here. too. I like that marbly look. Hold on, let me get some more. Melt it down some more. But yes, you guys, that is it. I am going to go ahead and end this live. I thank you guys for being with me on this Sunday afternoon. It is what's today? May 17th. Let me see. Yep, May 17th. And I hope you guys are having a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I pray that all your endeavors are successful. And I hope that your Sunday is going well, your whole week go well. And I always like to sign off by saying, always be the light in a room full of darkness. Look at that. It's so pretty. I'm going to show y'all the finished product. So this is how the candle look. Look at them smooth tops. This is coconut wax. This is one of my candles. I'm sorry, you know what I wanted to say, but this is just so cute. Like, this is the marbly effect. So this is what I'm making.